According to what we know today, life has existed on a single planet, Earth, for about 4 billion years. But after the Big Bang, the universe was a much stranger and more fantastic place than it is now. Even today, it might still be filled with the seeds of life, like dormant seeds sleeping in a barren desert, waiting for just a few drops of rain to awaken and grow. Across the universe, there could be small or even large life forms existing everywhere. In this video, I'll talk about a fictional yet scientifically plausible possibility. Let's first look at the paradox of life on Earth. In its early days, Earth was like a molten hell, constantly bombarded by asteroids. Over time, things calmed down, oceans formed, and then life appeared. Viruses spread everywhere they could find. But this is quite strange, because by that logic, life on Earth seemed almost as old as the planet itself, as if it had just been waiting for the right moment to begin. We define life as living things, but before humans, animals, and plants existed, Earth was, quite literally, a dead planet, with lifeless soil and oceans. How dead matter transformed into living organisms and what steps it took remains one of science's greatest mysteries. Now let's go back 10 billion years, more than twice the age of our planet. If life on Earth managed to evolve to where we are now, then perhaps life didn't start here at all. Maybe it began somewhere else in the universe long before us. Because in the universal timeline, the period between the origin of the first life and now is extremely short, which means there was a much longer span of time before Earth even existed, a time when similar conditions might have allowed other forms of life to emerge. Of course, these are just speculative ideas, but if the right conditions, water and a suitable temperature, exist long enough, could life begin? Don't imagine this as human-like beings. Life might look nothing like us. Could life really be that ancient, existing long before Earth? Possibly yes. Life may have begun shortly after the Big Bang itself. At the most basic level, life needs two things. The right chemical elements to form complex molecules. 2. A medium where those molecules can move and interact, like water. When searching for life in space, we usually focus on Earth-like planets. Ones warm enough for liquid water and containing elements like carbon and oxygen, which are formed inside stars. But there might have been a time when almost the entire universe was habitable. Right after the Big Bang, the universe was extremely hot. As it expanded, it cooled down. About 10 to 17 million years after the Big Bang, the temperature dropped to between 0 degrees Celsius and 100 degrees Celsius, the range where water can exist as a liquid. That means 13.7 billion years ago, every corner of the universe could, in theory, support life. Of course, temperature alone isn't enough. Elements like carbon and oxygen were also needed, which form inside stars. So, were there stars that early? Possibly. In the densest regions of the universe, massive stars could have formed and exploded as supernovas within just 3 million years, scattering essential elements for life across space. Maybe the earliest life forms were exotic, able to survive without water, thriving in other liquids, sustained by the leftover heat of the Big Bang for millions of years. The fascinating part of this idea is that while the universe is now cold and deadly, there might once have been a time when life could exist almost everywhere. Some of these life forms might still be frozen, dormant on ancient planets or asteroids, waiting to awaken as conditions change. If so, life could be everywhere in the universe right now. Can we ever know for sure? These ideas sound like a good story, and maybe they are. They're logical, but still speculative. We have no proof. Yet they raise more questions. Was there life before us? Will there be life after us? Has life vanished and restarted many times? Or does it exist everywhere, even now? If the seeds of life came from space, then they might have spread across our solar system too. Perhaps we'll find fossils in the dry riverbeds of Mars, or living organisms in the warm underground oceans of Europa, Jupiter's moon. Even Titan, Saturn's moon, has seas of methane and ethane, similar to how the universe was when it was only 90 million years old. So far, we've seen no one like us in the universe, but maybe that's because it takes over 10 billion years for a species to evolve into a technological civilization. There might be countless planets filled with microbes, strange fish, or bizarre creatures. Perhaps even beings who look at their skies and wonder if they are alone, just like we do. Maybe right now, we're living in the era when life is developing across the universe, on millions of planets filled with creatures far different from those on Earth. We've already discovered many Earth-like planets. Looking at the light and signals traveling billions of years across space, we can tell that countless other worlds like ours exist. But of course, just because a planet looks like Earth doesn't mean it hosts life. It simply gives us hope, a flicker of light suggesting we might not be alone. And what about the countless stars whose light we haven't even detected yet, and the planets orbiting them? With today's technology, we haven't even sent humans to Mars. If life exists out there, how will we find it? And if those civilizations are also limited by their own technology, how would we ever know each other exist? If life forms much older than us exist, why haven't they contacted us? Perhaps the immense size of the universe and the speed of light simply make communication impossible. And if that's the case, then maybe, despite the vastness of the cosmos, we really are the only intelligent beings out there. But if life exists only on Earth, wouldn't that be an incredible waste of space? Please subscribe, and see you in the next video, hearts.